Hey, what's up guys? BJ Dell back with an all new weekly art challenge review video. If you want to possibly see your artwork featured in one of these upcoming videos, make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video and I'll tell you how. But last week's word was hedgehog, so let's see what you guys came up with. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump into today's video all about the word hedgehog, and the first one up today is Alvin, and of course this one is a traditional piece done with a brush pen. I think the brushwork on this is just fantastic. I'm a huge fan of just the plain black and white. You get a very good stark contrast between the two, and the way that, especially in the quills here, that he's done, you know, the brushwork, it just really pops. It looks really, really well done. The simplicity of it, just the black and white, it really reminds me kind of the early 1900s children's books, so illustrations from stuff like Wind in the Willows or early Winnie the Pooh, stuff like that. I think it works really well with this and has that same kind of aesthetic. And let's be honest, the character design is just really well done, and it kind of begs to have a story told. And he's got a lot of personality, a lot of character, and you really want to know what's going on with this guy. What's his story? Is he going on an adventure? So on and so forth. So I think that is one of the key pieces that really make this stand out. So great job this week, Alvin. Next one up is Elaine, and Elaine's hedgehog is just fantastic. This shows you what you can do with basic lines and the way that the quills come around. You know, there's nothing really here in the center, and it just forms that shape perfectly of the hedgehog. Your eyes fill in the rest, and I just love the simplicity of this and just how well it works. This is something you could definitely see on, you know, a greeting card or an inspirational poster, especially with the wording down here. And I think that as well is really well done with the handwritten letters. I think that was a wise decision to go with that. And the little coffee cup here, like I said, just the basic lines, the basic shapes that form the entire design is just fantastic. This is one of those ones when you look at, of course, like I said, there's not a lot of detail going on, but this is a really hard style to kind of mimic, and you've got to kind of take away parts of it to make it work. And a lot of people want to keep adding more and more details, so to break it down to the simplest form like Elaine did in this is just a really fantastic feat. So thanks so much, Elaine. Really impressed with that one this week. Next up is Katie, and I believe Katie said this one was actually done with her finger. So if that's the case, let's see here. Yes, did it on a phone app with my finger, and the app kept glitching. I definitely need a tablet. Well, Katie, tablets are great, but honestly, this is really impressive for doing it with your finger on a phone. I love it. It's super cute. I love the little rosy cheeks here, and the way he's laying on its back is just super, super cute. The thick lines here around the outside, and then even the thicker lines here that are a little bit lighter, a little bit less line weight than the outside, and then these really thin lines here on the inside is a really good way to kind of break up the line weights even when you're just using your finger. So kudos there, and I think it just reads adorable. I love the colors. Everything has that kind of soft pastel neutral feel to it that really works well for the choice of the character and kind of the personality that you gave it, having that really cute, adorable factor. So I would say keep it up. If you can eventually get a tablet, it'll be, you know, a whole different experience. But if you're able to do stuff like this on your phone with your finger, I say keep it up, keep posting stuff. We want to see more from you, Katie. So thanks so much for posting that this week. Next up is Jessica, and this one is just absolutely fantastic. I love the kind of watercolor effect that this has. You can kind of see the textures here that gives off, and that's one of the things that always amazes me about digital art is how you can make it look traditional with just a little bit of extra time and care and using the right brushes and the right techniques. So I think that is really well done. It has, once again, like the previous one, kind of that soft, gentle, subtle feel to it. It's not super bright and in your face, and it's a really good choice of colors. And like I said, the way that those textures form here with that brush that you used just really makes the design work. Once again, this is something I could see, you know, greeting cards or even in a illustrated children's book. I think that is really, really good. With the shadow down here, I would have probably just dropped the shadow or just pulled it all the way down. With this little arm here, since it's actually giving off the shadow below, it looks like for that to be kind of realistic, he would have to be raised up off the ground, kind of jumping or pushing himself up. So with this, I would probably pull the shadow and just have it come straight across without having that arm part there. Unless that's what you're going for, I'm not sure. But yeah, it would look just a little bit different. You wouldn't have that arm shadow right there. But absolutely fantastic job, Jessica. So thank you for submitting that this week as well. Next up is Sal, and Sal went with Sonic. And of course, Sonic was one of the big choices this week. I think everybody that hears the word Hedgehog automatically just jumps to Sonic. So I think this one really kind of set itself apart from the others just because of the technique used. I love the line weight being thicker on the outsides, and then these smaller lines in here kind of give this just wrinkled look to it, and he's a little bit rough around the edges, and I think it has kind of that pop art punk lowbrow feel to it, which works really well. Even the kind of veins here in his eyes, the bloodshotness, the lines there, and then the furrowed brow here with the thinner lines too, I think works really well and just makes it an interesting piece. It reads Sonic, you can tell it's Sonic, but it has its own personality to it. And that's one thing I think is really cool with doing fan art like this, is kind of twisting it, making it stand out, making it your own. So if you've got a certain style that you can kind of put on the fan art to where you do like a series and each one has your style, but it is, you know, a well-known character, that's a good way to kind of differentiate yourself from the rest of the fan art, in this case Sonic, that's out there, so that it really kind of puts your name on it. And I think Sal did a great job this week doing that, so thanks so much. Next up is Roger, and Roger did a, you know, speedy, fast Hedgehog. This isn't Sonic, but definitely could take him in a race, I think. And just the overall design, the character design of this is great. Roger, he's been featured on the channel before, but he actually has a YouTube channel that I've talked about before called Sketchy Go Ichi, and I will link that in the description below. Definitely check out his channel. He's got some good stuff. He's got a new video series called How Not to Suck at Art, so definitely check him out and check out his videos. Eventually, we're trying to work out logistics. I know it's been kind of back and forth figuring out time-wise, but I want to have him on for an interview show, so look forward to that later on. But the design itself is just so good, so much motion and so much energy. I love the way that the hind legs come up over top here, and then the bottom legs come down in between, or the front legs come down in between there. Really gives that sense of speed to the design, and the way that the spit here coming out of his mouth kind of trails off and follows that is just fantastic. And love seeing the quills here with the shadowing and the different colors, and then the highlights at the top. And if you guys are part of the Keep Creating group, definitely hop on over there. He posted kind of the time lapse of this, so you can watch it from the sketch process all the way up until the finished project or product. And I think it's just fantastic. One of my favorites this week. So thanks so much, Roger, for sharing that. Always great work. And finally, we've got Randy, and Randy's got this cute purple hedgehog. I think it's really well done. Once again, using, you know, a different line color here for the outsides, keeping with that purple value theme. So just using a darker purple for the outside lines, instead of going with that black. Kind of ties in the colors together. Doesn't have such a kind of harsh and stark contrast between the colors, and it just looks a little bit more natural. So I like the attempt on that. And then also with the hand and the thumb coming out here and the arm coming back. We've talked past couple weeks about foreshortening, and I think the foreshortening on this is a job really well done. It really feels like that thumbs up is coming out at you, and that's going to be closer to the viewer than the rest of it by using that foreshortening there on the arm. So really, really well done there. I like the background colors too, makes everything kind of pop. And I love just the fact here of these circular parts down here, using just this really light thin part here, and it's nice that it's not just a straight line. You've kind of got some bumps here, kind of makes that three-dimensional. It gives that kind of an edge to it that I really like, and it, like I said, it adds a sense of depth and dimension to it that you wouldn't get just by throwing down like a flat circle there for you know, a shadow, or for just like a piece of ground or grass. And I think that was a really cool decision there on not only the part here, but also these, and even this little, you know, piece of grass here is just a nice little touch, and I really like that too. So fantastic job, Randy. So those are the submissions that I picked this week for Hedgehog. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. As always, thank you for watching, and thanks to everyone that submitted designs this week. So if you want to see your artwork possibly featured in one of these upcoming videos, if you're new to the channel, here's how. I film one of these videos every Wednesday highlighting some of the artwork on the designs from the previous week, and then at the end of the video I give you a new challenge word for that week. You've got until the following Tuesday to submit that online. You can post it in the Facebook group that I made called Keep Creating, a Learn, Draw, Share art community, which I will post in the description below, or you can share it on Instagram or Twitter and tag me, or email. And that is how I see your designs, and then I pick a handful for the following week and do one of these videos. So if you want to jump on it and possibly see your artwork featured, that is how. Also, if you like today's video too, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell for notifications so you can get alerted when I post new videos. So last week's word was hedgehog, and like I said in the video, a lot of people did Sonic because that was the first thing that came to mind when they heard hedgehog. So I thought that would be cool this week to do favorite video game character, but to be fair, I know not everybody in the group or everybody watching these videos plays video games, so I thought just favorite game character. So it can be favorite board game character, video game character, card game character, what have you. So if you don't play video games, maybe Colonel Mustard from Clue or the kids from Candyland, stuff like that. So let's see what you guys can do. Post them online, and then I'll pick a handful for next week's video. As for me, I can be found online, bjdell.com, as well as on Instagram and Twitter at bjdell. So until next time, keep creating.